Hey there, my name is Patty, and this is mine and my husband's first bikepacking adventure. On our second day of riding the Ohio to Erie Trail, we're starting in Waynesville and heading to London, covering 44 miles for the day. We spent the night at the Hamel House Inn in Waynesville, just less than 1 mile to the start of the Little Miami Scenic Trail. The start to the day was beautiful as we pedaled along under a gorgeous green canopy. Shortly after starting our trip, just 8 miles down the road, we came upon this town of Spring Valley. Spring Valley was an awesome little town. You could tell that there was so much history here. One interesting thing I learned is that since 1977, Spring Valley hosts an annual potato festival. One of the highlights, they even sell potato candy. That sounds really interesting. We decided to rest right off the trail at the historic woolen mill. What we learned here is back in the day, the woolen mill shipped wool blankets. That's kind of cool. A short 7.5 miles down the trail, we came upon the town of Xenia. Xenia, Xenia, I don't know if I'm pronouncing right. Anyhow, it was a really cool little town. They even rebuilt a replica of the Xenia train station from 1880. What I'm starting to learn is that each one of these little cities that we've passed through love to have a little caboose from the railroad that used to ride through here. That's kind of cool. Did you know that the Little Miami Scenic Trail is the 4th longest paved trail in the United States at 78 miles long? I didn't know it either until I got home and I checked Wikipedia. Anyhow, at this point in time is when we had to say goodbye to the Little Miami Scenic Trail, and soon we'd say hello to the Prairie Grass Trail. The Prairie Grass Trail, while paved, was really very boring. These telephone poles went on forever and ever, and I really kind of felt like we were out in the middle of nowhere. Needing a break from counting all the telephone poles, we unfortunately came upon a cyclist pulling his trike bike because he had a flat tire. We of course stopped to help him out. Luckily, my husband John packs extra bicycle tires. What I found was interesting is the size tire was almost double the size for what he actually needed. He folded it in half, pumped it up, and actually was able to cycle away on it. The things you learn. The next little town we passed into was Cedarville, 8 miles from Xenia. It was around this time we decided to stop for lunch. We looked up on our phones and saw that there was a Subway just 0.3 miles up the hill. After lunch, it was back to the Prairie Grass Trail, where we were counting telephone poles once again. I really can't explain how long this went on for with just the mundaneness of the telephone poles. It was really a long time. Still, we were having fun. Next up was South Charleston. Another thing Wikipedia told me is that although there's a South Charleston in Ohio, there is no North Charleston or even just a Charleston. Although what South Charleston did have was not one, but two cabooses. The Prairie Grass Trail is split in South Charleston. Wasn't too bad though, about a half a mile of road riding to get from one trailhead to the other. At one point in riding on the road, they had actually resurfaced it. Looked like they were getting ready to repave it at some point. It was actually kind of hard to ride on it, so I thought I'd try the sidewalk. The sidewalk wasn't much better either. I felt that this part of the trip was pretty interesting as we were riding on a rail trail, and right next to us are the second set of tracks that seem to possibly still be in use. Our last stop of the day was London, 11 more miles up the trail. London also marks the end of the Prairie Grass Trail. John and I were excited for this part of the trip to be over. Since we were both born and raised in Ohio, we still have many family and friends that live there. Our son, for instance, lives just outside of Columbus, and he was heading over to pick us up, and we were going to spend the night with him. Being able to do stuff like this on this trip just makes it that much more special.
Hey!
How's it going?
Good. We kind of just got there.
Talking to these people. These people driving across country. Are riding across country. From Washington, D.C. to Washington.